it's just a little adjustment there. Yeah, that's better. Hello, folks. Um, Sorry for the noise. I have the fan heater directly behind you because it's effing cold in here. In fact, it started to frost over. Wasn't a frost this morning, but it's starting to now, and it's about 9 o'clock. Beverage. Coffee. Excellent. With a little bit of gingerbread syrup in, and I've also had a small glass of pineapple juice this morning because we always think about the ladies. Yes. Anyway, the Aprilia is just there. Let me. I'm going to keep you on the tripod and try and make it look stable and professional. Not going to happen. So anyway, the Aprilia is there. I've had the rear subframe off, and I'm just starting to put it back together again. I've had the carbs off again, and I've just double checked the settings, and they're all correct. I've just got to reroute the fuel pipe. I'm going to put a new little bit of fuel pipe on. But other than that, I had one of my friends from the Isle of Wight contacted me, and he's got the BMW version of this, which he uses as a daily. And he had running issues with his, hard to start, draining the battery and all this lot. And he thought it was a carburetor issue, the running issue. The red flag is the like battery issues, basically, but it had running issues, ran like a bag of crap, and he thought carburetors. But it turned out it was one of these things. If you don't know what one of these is, this is the voltage regulator and rectifier. You will generally find them on the alternator of a car, for example. On a motorbike, they're a totally separate unit. A lot of bikes are known to have very weak ones. I don't know whether it's because they all use the same suppliers or whatever, but like 80s, 90s Hondas, well, even later than that, notorious for knackering up regulator rectifiers. And the clue is they'll boil your battery, or your battery will drain very, very quickly, or it won't charge. When you stick a multimeter over the battery terminals, anything around the sort of 12.5, 13.5, 14 is okay. Anything higher than that is means one of these is duff. There's somebody at the door. Could it be Uncle Barnyard? It's Uncle Barnyard. He's out there. Look. Let's turn him around. Uncle Barnyard. Oh, he's having a fire. A fire. Yes. See, international sign language. We might go and film a bit of the fire later. So anyway, yes, it discovered he had a Duff wreck, and this is dirty. And also, there was some evidence under this. Let me turn you around. Yes, can you see the plastic tray there? There was some evidence underneath here. I bolted it on now. Underneath here, that this has been getting hot. And as I haven't had the bike running yet, you know, it's barked off on fuel down the plug hole. But I am suspecting that this may be Duff. Don't know. So basically, what I've done is I bought a new one. Let's try and get back on track, James. So I bought a new one. Bought it from M&P. Now, usually, if it's stuff like starter solenoids and stuff like that, I've learnt my lesson. Cheap Chinese shite is precisely that. Shite. The starter relay I put on the ZX in the end was an Electrex one, British company, and it was like 3 times the weight of the Chinese one, so it's obviously got some decent windings on board. So, you know, it might be like twice the money of a cheap Chinese one, but probably going to last the life of the bike. So I bought a new one from M&P. I haven't even took it out of the boxes yet. So let's have a little look. And I've got the old one there to compare the connections to, and I can tell just by looking it's plug and play basically, and shiny. So this is a UP2. Whoever makes this, I was going to buy the Electrex one, but noticed M&P did one which was just slightly cheaper, so I've got the M&P one basically. They've got a good rep, and I can see that, yeah, all the connectors are the same. You've got the 3 yellow wires coming from the flywheel stator, and generally you can have 3 wires, 4 wires, whatever. So that's correct. The other plug plugs into loom. Well, obviously it all plugged into the loom, but that's correct. And it's the earthing strap as well, which is correct. So that's all good. That should be plug and play. Now, I've seen some idiots try and change the earth points for these. I saw one the other day, and on the back of the under tray, you've got your under tray and your airbox and all that lot. They all bolt together. The bottom of the airbox bolts to the under tray and all this lot. It's all sort of one unit then. And there's a lot of areas where you pass through a rubber grommet for anti-vibration and all that lot. That wasn't anti-vibration. And I've even seen people bolt the earth wire to a rubber grommet. Now, you know, my understanding of electric is earth to metal, whether that be on the engine block or the frame or whatever, metal. You don't put an earth on a rubber grommet. So how the chuffy fuck they expected it to work properly, I don't know. It must, if it did work, it must have worked poorly. So anyway, I've got one just as a precaution. I haven't tested this old one because I haven't had the bike running. You can do like resistance tests and stuff like that with it on the bench. I haven't bothered. The other thing I've got, little spark plug spanner, because I'm using a big BMW one at the moment, and it's a pain in the arse because it gets in the way of the coils and stuff like that. So I've got a little plug spanner because I need to make up a little kit, and I've also got a new spark plug, just in case the one that's in it, even though it looks brand new, just in case it's a bit duff. Because if somebody's bought one off of eBay or something like that, there is a lot of counterfeit spark plugs and stuff about, especially NGK and stuff like that. You can get, if it looks cheap, it's probably a counterfeit. They look almost exact, but sometimes the writing on them is slightly off and what have you. So I've got that from Wamoto. I've got the plug spanner from Wamoto, and I've got something else that's coming for it, and I can't remember what. It'll come to me. Indicators are still on back order from the manufacturer. They should be here by the end of this month. I ordered them from Aprilia. Delicious. So I've got the headlight loom for the lights, and basically what I want to do with the Aprilia is I've given the back subframe just a quick not going crazy, you know. While it was off, it would have been very easy to get it blasted and coated and all this lot, but it's not what I'm aiming for at the minute. I'm aiming to sort of put it together enough and relocate the wiring loom. The wiring loom was routed incorrectly. It was actually getting in the way of stuff. So while I've got it all naked, I'm going to just route it properly. And there's some quite good photos in the service manual that I downloaded that shows you the correct routing of a lot of the components, and their wiring is not routed anything like what this was. I think somebody has probably at some point stripped the bike, because I found more loose bolts, hand tight bolts that were holding quite important components together. So my goal is to get it together enough, get it fired up, get it running, get it up to temperature, start it a few times, just make sure um, it starts and runs basically, and then after that we can concentrate on getting the electricals done, because I'm going to have to make a bit of the loom up for the rear indicators and what have you, because that one got butchered. Either that or find the rear loom, whatever. I don't mind making one, but a lot of the wiring on it, especially the auxiliary wiring for like the rear, it's gone stiff. There is a cure for it. You can put it in the oven. You can put it in the oven, warm it up, because that's what they do with car looms and stuff like that. Before they go in the car, they come out of an oven, so they're flexible, and all they do is lose their flex. So that's easily cured. I can just warm it up with a heat gun if I need to. So I don't mind doing that. Say exhaust, everything else is fine. Brakes are fine. Forks don't look like they're leaking. They're fine. But we don't know about cooling system or anything like that until it runs. And then, as soon as I know that that's a runner and it's viable, I'll start cracking on with the VFR again, and get get the front end out, get the fork seals and stuff done, and we'll that can go back to Uncle Steve when it's a good rolling chassis and what have you. I've managed to get a fairing stay for the front, so that's all good. I've managed to get the another heel plate. We'll call it a heel guard, because I found one. These on eBay are going sometimes for ridiculous money. In fact, the majority of them are going for ridiculous money for this little bit of bent metal. And the trouble is, this one has gone there, it's split. There's a drainage hole, and it's split on the drainage hole. So I found one, a good one, on eBay for a tenner. And these are normally anywhere between 50 and 90 quid, I've seen them. So I got it. And I got the fairing stay as well, because that was a good price. That was only like 35 quid. And then the fairing stays for the front. For a good straight one, you're talking 150 quid easy, 90 to 150 quid. So that is the state of play at the minute. Phyllis passed her MOT. I had a slightly dodgy rear brake light switch on it. And I think what happened in fact I know what happened, was when I took the rear brake pedal off to unseize it, I stretched the spring on it. But anyway, chap at the bike shop got it working again. So Phyllis has passed. So she's got another year on her. I've just recently retaxed her and what have you. Nibbler, I've just retaxed Nibbler. His MOT isn't due till February. But I can't remember paying as much as it did last year. Bikes over 600cc are now £111 to tax. How the fuck do they justify that? It literally takes up a sixth of the road that a car does. It weighs, the whole motorbike probably weighs less than an engine block in a car, but we're getting fucked on road tax. No idea. They can't blame emissions, because bikes ain't that bad. They're not that bad at all. They're very, very efficient. But I don't know. I don't know how to work that out, because I'm pretty sure for a big bike you only used to pay about 60 quid, and that used to hurt. Phyllis isn't. She's very low in the tax, but the Aprilia will be big bike tax. That'll be 111 quid because it's over 600cc. Now, Nibbler news. Breaking news. Well, it's not breaking. Yeah, you just stood on me ratchet. Fucking prick. I'm going to see if I can film in his premises, because obviously I won't do so without permission and all this lot. But I met a chap actually the other year when I took that other motorbike I did up for an MOT, the one that somebody didn't put any money into and then wonders why it's not finished. And I'm out of pocket by nearly 700 quid. Anyway, we won't go into that because they don't exist and they will not exist in my future. Anyway, when I took that for an MOT, I met this guy, I think he's called John, and he owns a vapor blasting business. I think I briefly mentioned it on an way earlier video. And I met up with him again when I took Phyllis, and he's building a sidecar racing outfit from an old ZX. And anyway, we got talking. I went down his unit and had a look at it, and it's a beast. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be an absolute animal. And just offhand, he had a ZZR 600. He's got a lot of other bikes. Normally rides a Blackbird. He likes big bikes. But he's got quite a tidy ZZR 600. And jokingly, I said, well, if you want a spares bike or another ZX10, oh, God, nibble, I'll do you a swap for the ZZR. Sort of half jokingly. And he says, are you sure? And yeah. And then when I was there, the kind of idea festered in my head. And I've had just a very, very quick look at this ZZR. And to be honest, I think it'll suit me better than Nibbler, because I have not gelled with Nibbler. I've liked owning it. I've liked working on it for the most part. But it's not the bike for me. I've had it tick the box. So we are currently in negotiations about swapping Nibbler for a ZZR 600. As long as I get a bike out of it that I can either play with or ride pretty much straight away, it'll be all right. So that is the state of play at the minute. Phyllis requires nothing. Nibbler pretty much requires nothing. Although it'd be a good idea to change his tyres. If it turned out I was to keep him, I will be changing the tyres. The Aprilia needs tyres. It definitely needs a back one because it's on the wear marker and the 10 years old. So I don't know, but my main goals for at least the first half of this year is get the VFR done and do the Aprilia and get that done and usable. And then there is already another project in the pipeline which will be arriving when the VFR is done. And the crashing and banging and knocking you can hear is Uncle Barnyard out the back. He's probably sorting stuff out to burn, because by the looks of it, burn is going to have a burn. So anyway, that's your state of play. And obviously when anything significant happens, we will film it and all this lot. Now, for the next at least a week, videos are probably going to be very thin on the ground, because starting next Monday, I'm going to be having some extensive dental surgery to clear all this bomb site in a tombstone factory up. So I can tell you now, I will not be in the mood, nor physical appearance wise, to be doing any videoing, and it's going to be effing painful afterwards. I'm quite looking forward to getting it done, actually, and I am shit scared of dentists, properly shit scared of dentists, but I'm quite looking forward to getting this work done. And then I'll have my beautiful smile back and we can go crumpeteering. Yes. So that's where we're at. So I'm going to end this video here, and then as and when there are updates, I will obviously post them. So thank you for liking, sharing and subscribing. Please continue to do so. I'm even getting my own videos recommended back to me now, so something's working. So anyway, GoPro, stop recording.